This week, I wanted to give you a little look behind the scenes at Civic, specifically in context to some internal training gatherings and recordings that we're doing to try to make sure that new people and veterans who may be in different parts of the organization can really understand what Civic believes and what are some of the resources and methodology that we use when we're doing both transformation type projects and also operational projects. So we've started a series called Civic Talks Shop, where we allow different topics to be brought forward by leadership and also nominated by team members to cover and then put long-term into a learning management system. I thought that it would be a good view on how we're trying to build some of that knowledge and consistency of who we are. So I hope you enjoy. What we're going to talk about today is the difference between purchasing and procurement. Everyone has purchasing. Not everybody has what we would consider to be a full-fledged procurement shop. So we're going to talk a little bit about the differences in the words between purchasing and procurement and how do we get these organizations into a more strategic place. A lot of people will treat these two terms as synonyms. I know that there are people who are called purchasing agents, et cetera. There's nothing wrong with being in purchasing, but we need to create a description so that people understand the difference in terms and the difference in flow of these two things. So the functions are really distinct in terms of the type of people they have, the type of tasks they do, and what they accomplish. So purchasing is basically a set of functions that is really about requisition management, saying a thing needs to happen and move it to the next stage in the process. So that's why I say everyone has purchasing. And in smaller shops, that may be all that is needed. But it also means that that shop tends to be viewed as very transactional and very clerk oriented. Procurement is the circle that surrounds the purchasing function. It's all of the things that go into having a more strategic asset in our procurement department. If we don't have a lot of strategic enablement around the purchasing function, then that shop will always feel behind. It will always feel like it can't do analysis. It will always feel like there is no time to do anything other than what is right or front. So to some degree, it really kind of moves into the steps before or during or after purchasing, and it's more contemplative. It assumes that we're going to do the purchasing activity, but then what do we build around the purchasing activity to be able to be strategic? So that can be things like planning for contract portfolios, being able to do some resource planning to know what's coming from departments, knowing how to tell departments what kind of information needs to come into the purchasing function so that we can be effective. So, some of the things that we do to help people get to a more strategic place is to be able to, first of all, create some of the vocabulary. If we have a shop that's only ever done transactional procurement, then being able to talk about some of the things I just talked about, the pre-planning, establishing procurement as an equivalent partner and not just expected to fulfill a clerking function, to be able to set roles and responsibilities and quality expectations, to be able to translate our compliance words, which are what the administrative code and the law says that we have to do, into something that's more user-friendly, like procurement manuals. Law tells you what you can do and can't do and when you're going to go to jail is the cliche. How do we put it into user-friendly documentation that is written from the perspective of the end user, the person who who wants to comply, who wants to receive the service, but needs to understand how to work?
Hi, it's Dustin Lanier. Thanks for listening. Please find me on LinkedIn for original public sector operations content every week. And please reach out to me if I and my team of procurement professionals at Civic Initiatives can help you be a public procurement change agent.